British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Welcome back to the final headlines of the day. I'm Riley Cunningham. We're starting off in sports this afternoon. England has officially qualified for the World Cup after a 5-0 win over Latvia. It is the first European country to do so, and despite predictions that Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal team would join them in qualifying for next year's tournament, their game ended in a 2-2 draw against Hungary, leaving them continuing to fight for contention. 24 other countries have officially punched their ticket to the World Cup, including Ecuador, Iraq, and Argentina. Tensions were high in Udine, Italy, ahead of a World Cup qualifying match between Italy and Israel. Snipers could be seen flanking rooftops around the stadium as the two teams kicked off earlier today. A pro-Palestine march took place in the city shortly before the game, which drew nearly 10,000 people, more than the game recorded in attendance. Boos were heard from the audience as the Israeli national anthem was played, and Italy took the win 3-0, landing them closer to a spot in next year's World Cup. U.S. President Donald Trump threatened a relocation of next year's FIFA matches from Boston. The 7 matches are set to take place as one stop in the World Cup's collaborative host countries of Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. Trump claimed the city had been taken over by recent unrest, though he did not specify. The location of matches is the responsibility of FIFA, meaning Trump has no say if they are to be relocated. The Vancouver Canucks are heading out on a 5-game road trip, kicking off this Thursday in Dallas against the Stars. After a poor showing on home ice on Monday night with a 5-2 loss against the St. Louis Blues, Elias Pettersson spoke to the media about the upcoming games.
Dallas, great team. We got a lot of good players, but I like the group we have here. If we play, we're supposed to play and follow structure and everything, it's going to be good. So, good challenge for us, and excited for it.
The team returns home to play the Montreal Canadiens on October 25th. Canada's baseball team has lost their second game against the Seattle Mariners, putting them down 2-0 in the American League Championship Series. Blue Jays manager John Schneider says he's proud of the team's efforts regardless.
We got to figure out ways to generate some more offense, and give the guys a ton of credit for coming back, down 3, you tie it. They just made more swings than us the last 2 games, kind of what it comes down to. So we got to figure out a way to limit damage, 1, and 2, generate more offense.
The two teams face off in Seattle tomorrow evening. MLB All-Star Emmanuel Clase is facing a lifetime ban from the league after a high-profile gambling scandal put him on leave in early July. MLB insider Hector Gomez posted on X saying, quote, Emmanuel Clase will never pitch in the MLB again. The gambling evidence found against him is irrefutable. The Dominican-born player made his debut in the league in 2019 for the Texas Rangers and was traded to the Cleveland Guardians in the same year. The MLB has not yet commented on Gomez's statement, but a permanent ban would be bad news for Cleveland. Now, looking to news. The provincial government has announced plans for a brand new plant and animal health center in Abbotsford. The center will be used to monitor, detect, and prevent the spread of diseases such as avian flu, a hot topic in the province recently due to the ongoing ostrich cull debate. The current center suffered damages during the 2021 flooding in Abbotsford and needs to be updated to meet increased testing demands. Construction is set to begin in 2027 with a completion goal of 2032. Premier David Eby addressed Alberta Premier Danielle Smith's ask to repeal the tanker ban off BC's northern coast, saying pipelines should take precedent. The BC leader disagrees.
To have the Premier one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest province in Confederation, insisting that the country does not work and is broken unless she gets her way and gets this tanker ban lifted, even if it costs all Canadians tens of billions of dollars in major projects that actually exist with proponents, is absurd.
Eby says lifting the ban would undermine coastal First Nations social license and threaten port expansion and mining projects in northwestern BC. David Eby also commented on the BCGEU strike, saying the government is working closely to ensure a fair offer is being made to the union and that the government is hoping to get back to the bargaining table as soon as possible. Approximately 25,000 union members are off the job across the province, including the liquor distribution branches. With the BCGEU entering its 7th week with no resolution in sight, industry professionals are stressing. Our reporter Braden Goodman has more.
Wine entrepreneur Alex Kim stresses that we shouldn't panic about how the wine is distributed.
This is not a time where we need to take drastic action to change everything wholesale. This is a time where we need to start reevaluating what we're doing as a province to help support the industry that brings in billions of dollars annually.
Change is always going to be a part of the industry. Instead, it's a chance to rethink how we can support local. It's a unique opportunity to put BC wine front and center, how we can build stronger connections within our communities and grow a more resilient, local-focused market right here in our own backyard. Braden Goodman, BCIT News.
With the focus already on buying local, the industry hopes to see more support. One of the Canadians aboard a Gaza-bound flotilla has spoken out against his treatment after the vessel was intercepted by Israeli forces. Karam Mustikhan alleges he was taken to a detention center after the vessel was intercepted and boarded on October 8th.
There was a plane, flying over the boat. There were drones. There were 2 frigates, Navy frigates. So I don't know what made Israel to conduct a major operation on a civilian vessel like ours.
Mustikhan was among 5 other Canadians who were deported to Turkey from Israel before being sent back to Canada. A Quebec man has been ordered to pay $5,000 for using artificial intelligence to improperly defend himself in court. A Quebec Superior Court judge handed down the fine after it was discovered Jean Laprade had cited expert quotes and jurisprudence that doesn't exist. The businessman is in court appealing a decision made in 2021 by the Paris International Arbitration Chamber that ordered him to pay nearly $2.7 million for an airplane he claims to have been awarded in a business deal. The decision states Laprade received 3 helicopters and an aircraft after the end of a business deal in Guinea, but a mistake in the contract provided Laprade with an aircraft that was worth much more than the one previously agreed upon. He was accused of diverting the aircraft to Quebec, which is at Sherbrooke Airport under a seizure order. American President Donald Trump commented on the ongoing war in Ukraine while hosting Argentina's president at the White House today. Trump said Putin has kept the war going unnecessarily.
I don't know why he continues with this war. This war has been so bad for him. He's going into 4 years of a war that he should have won that war in 1 week. He's now going to soon be into his 4th year.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is set to meet up with Trump in Washington this Friday. U.S. Federal Reserve Board Chairman Jerome Powell spoke to the National Association of Business Economics about the government shutdown. He says a sharp decline in hiring poses a risk to the U.S. economy.
Rising downside risks to employment have shifted our assessment of the balance of risks. As a result, we judged it appropriate to take another step toward a more neutral policy stance at our September meeting. There is no risk-free path for policy as we navigate the tension between our employment and inflation goals. This challenge was evident in the dispersion of committee participants' projections at the September meeting. And I'll stress again that these projections should be understood as representing a range of potential outcomes.
The government shutdown has been ongoing since October 1st, with no clear end in sight. Liron Berman, brother of hostages Ziv and Gali Berman, who were released by Hamas after a deal was reached, has said U.S. President Donald Trump was instrumental in the return of his brothers.
None of this would have been possible without the leadership and determination of President Trump. For months, he pushed forward when others hesitated, proving that courage and conviction can change history. We are deeply grateful to President Trump.
The Red Cross continues to assist with the trade of Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners, and Israel has threatened to halve the number of humanitarian aid trucks allowed into devastated Gaza, among concerns that Hamas wasn't returning the remains of dead hostages quickly enough. Donald Trump has posthumously awarded right-wing influencer Charlie Kirk with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Kirk was killed on September 10th while speaking at a university in Orem, Utah, as part of a nationwide tour. Kirk was a controversial figure in American politics, often speaking on hot-button issues such as gun violence, women's rights, and race. President Trump has also declared October 14th the National Day of Remembrance for Kirk. For your final weather report of the day, we're still looking at sunny skies this afternoon. It is currently 13 degrees and will remain clear for the remainder of the day with 0 chance of precipitation. Keep in mind the sunny weather will stay for tomorrow, but the rest of the week is looking at rain and a drop in temperature. As I mentioned on my last weather report, those leaves can get slippery, so make sure you're watching out for those on the sidewalk, and make sure to keep your umbrella on you, whether you're transiting, walking, or driving this week. Thanks so much for listening to BCIT News. I'm Riley Cunningham. Have a great evening.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
I would recommend this program for anyone that isn't sure what kind of job they want in media, because you learn everything from like public relations to communications to video editing, like radio, TV. So you do get a lot of experience in all the different fields in media.